The first sound you hear is not laughter. It is not joy. It is not freedom. It is the sound of chains clinking softly against tiled marble floors, echoing through the hollow spaces of a mansion too large for one woman's soul. And there he is, young, broken, trembling, his eyes no longer shining with the fire of dreams, but dull, vacant, drained of the freedom he once took for granted. His wrists are bruised, his spirit bound, his life no longer his own. This is not just another story. This is a warning, a confession, and a haunting reminder of how love can mutate into possession, how care can rot into cruelty, and how generosity, if twisted by loneliness, can become a chain rather than a gift. Stay with me until the very last second, for only then will you understand the full depth of this journey. If you are here, subscribe, because these are the stories that will remind you of the fragile line between love and destruction, between kindness and control, between freedom and captivity. Today, you will witness a story that will unsettle you, and perhaps change you. The boy sits on a chair padded with velvet cushions, cushions that were meant to cradle wealth, not to conceal torment. The chandelier above rains golden light upon his tired face, but no light can enter his soul anymore. The mansion is silent except for the faint sound of his breathing and the echo of her footsteps approaching. She, the woman who once promised to sponsor his education, to lift him from the dust of poverty into the gold of luxury, now keeps him hidden as her prisoner. The city outside breathes with Lagos energy, horns blaring, traders shouting, neon lights flashing, but within these marble walls there is only silence. A silence so heavy, so suffocating, it eats into his bones. Before the bruises, before the fear, there was love, or at least what looked like it. He was a boy with nothing but dreams. She was a woman with everything except the warmth of companionship. Their worlds collided on an afternoon when Lagos was alive with thunderous rain, the kind of rain that forces the city to pause. He was drenched, searching for shade under a bank's veranda, when she saw him, clothes clinging to his skin, but eyes still bright, still burning with ambition. She saw him not as he was, but as what she could make of him. A project, a treasure, a companion to fill her empty nights. She offered him more than money, she offered him possibility. Tuition paid, allowances flowing, designer clothes, weekend trips to exotic resorts on the island where waves kissed golden sands. To him, it felt like love. To her, it was ownership disguised as care. Under her guidance, the boy transformed. He wore suits stitched by foreign hands. He walked into rooms with confidence he had never tasted before. The streets where he once begged for chances now looked at him with awe. His friends whispered, "He has made it." But no one asked at what cost. In Lagos, wealth is worshipped. People did not care who funded him, only that he looked like a king. And he, in his youth, began to believe he was untouchable. But in the shadows of his newfound life, temptation awaited. The gifts she gave him, the cars, the endless credit cards, the luxury apartments, he began to share them with other women. His heart, restless, sought pleasures she could not provide. His body, unchained at the time, roamed the arms of others. He forgot that every naira, every luxury, was tied to her loneliness. And loneliness, when betrayed, can turn deadly. The woman found out, not through his confession, but through the whispers of Lagos itself. In this city, secrets do not hide for long. She saw the Instagram posts, the tagged locations, the careless laughter shared with other women. Every smile he gave them was a knife in her heart. Every gift he gave away was a robbery of her affection. For her, it was not money he was wasting. It was her soul, her trust, her last chance at feeling alive. And so, the woman who had once clothed him in luxury decided to strip him of his freedom. Now, in the silence of the mansion, he sits in chains. The velvet, the chandeliers, the marble, all luxuries surrounding him, have become his prison bars. She visits him daily, not with anger on her face, but with a chilling kind of affection. She feeds him the meals she orders from chefs flown in from abroad. She buys him silk pajamas to sleep in. She speaks softly to him, though he is never allowed to reply. For in her mind, this is not punishment. This is preservation. She has preserved him for herself. And yet, outside those walls, there is a storm building. His girlfriend, the one who received his stolen gifts, the one who unknowingly became part of his betrayal, has realized he is missing. She senses the truth. And she begins to plan. There is a certain kind of madness that grows in solitude. The woman did not see herself as cruel. She saw herself as a savior betrayed. She told herself that if he could not be faithful outside her walls, then she would keep him within them. To her, love was not freedom. It was captivity. It was control. It was possession. Her mansion became a theater of contradictions, rooms filled with laughter from hidden speakers, but no real joy. Expensive perfumes filling the air, but the stench of fear hiding underneath. She told herself he was safe. But the boy's soul whispered otherwise. The girlfriend began her search in the streets he once roamed, questioning friends who turned their faces away. She pieced together fragments of his life, the shadows of his relationship with the rich woman, the dangerous truth that everyone suspected but no one dared speak. The city of Lagos, alive and loud, carried his silence like a secret. But secrets leak, and she found the address, an estate surrounded by gates taller than trees, guarded by men with eyes colder than steel. For now, the boy remains in chains, the woman hums softly as she pours him wine he does not want, and the girlfriend stands outside the gates of the mansion, staring up at walls that hide a truth darker than she imagines. This is not just the story of a boy and a woman. This is the story of love weaponized, of kindness transformed into cruelty, of freedom buried beneath luxury. Stay with me, because what happens next will tear open wounds you did not know you had. The storm has not yet broken, but it is coming. Outside the towering gates of a Lagos mansion, a young woman stands, her heart pounding, her palms sweating, her eyes locked on the fortress that holds her lover in silence. She does not know what waits beyond the walls. She does not yet see the chains, the velvet, the prison of luxury. But she feels it. The ache in her chest, the restless stirring of her spirit, tells her that something inside is terribly wrong. This is not just a story of wealth and captivity, it is the unraveling of lies, the unraveling of love itself. Stay with me until the very last breath of this tale. Subscribe now, because what you are about to hear will carve itself into your memory, and you will not forget it. You will not want to forget it. The girlfriend stands still, her body tense, her mind racing. The gates are guarded by two men dressed in black, their stares sharp, their silence heavier than Lagos humidity. They are not here to welcome visitors. They are here to keep secrets buried. Their presence tells her everything she needs to know. The boy is inside. She does not approach yet. She does not dare. Instead, she observes, melting into the shadows of the evening. Cars glide past, neighbors move with indifference, but no one looks twice at the mansion. It is as though the house itself has wrapped a cloak of invisibility around its sins. The boy remains in his chamber of silence. His chains are lighter today, but they are still there, reminders that his freedom is not his own. The woman sits opposite him, her eyes soft, her lips curled into a smile that chills more than it warms. She believes she has saved him from the chaos of the world outside. She feeds him grapes dipped in honey, pours him glass after glass of imported wine, but he eats without tasting, drinks without wanting. The chandelier swings slightly above, casting shifting shadows across the polished floor. He sees his reflection in the marble tiles, himself, but not himself. A boy who once dreamed, now trapped in another person's dream. Loneliness has rewired her thoughts. She does not hear the echoes of cruelty in her own actions. She tells herself this is love, that he is safe, that the world would have destroyed him without her. She sees herself as a savior, not a captor. But the heart of obsession beats differently from love. Where love gives wings, obsession builds cages. She does not notice the restlessness in his eyes, the silent rebellion still glowing in him. She does not see the storm outside, building at her gates. The girlfriend returns home restless, sleepless. Every night, she dreams of him, his laughter, his warmth, his sudden disappearance. She retraces his last known movements, interrogates his closest friends, follows the faint trails of rumors. Everyone warns her in whispers, "Leave it alone. This is dangerous." But love does not retreat. Love does not abandon. She knows he is alive. And she knows who has taken him. Her research reveals the woman's past. Wealth built on businesses spread across Lagos, a reputation for charity that always carried shadows, a string of young men who once lived in her orbit and then vanished from sight. The pattern is chilling. And she realizes he is not the first. He may not be the last. Night falls heavy on Lagos. The city hums, but the mansion grows darker, quieter. Within its walls, the boy lies on his velvet bed, staring at the ceiling. He counts the seconds, the minutes, the hours. He remembers freedom, the smell of street food, the noise of Danfo buses, the laughter of his friends. Now all he hears is silence broken only by her footsteps, soft and deliberate, as she moves closer to his door. She enters carrying gifts, expensive watches, gold chains, perfumes. She lays them beside him as though they are tokens of devotion. He does not touch them. To him, they are reminders of the price of betrayal. To her, they are proof of her undying love. Unable to bear waiting, the girlfriend decides. She will not call the police. They are too easily swayed by money, too quick to turn a blind eye when wealth is involved. She must act alone, or she must find allies who believe in more than money. She begins to watch the mansion closely. Night after night, she records the comings and goings of staff, the rotation of guards, the weak spots in security. She sketches plans on crumpled pieces of paper, her desperation sharpening into strategy. What fuels her is not just love, but anger. Anger that he is treated like property. Anger that wealth has become a weapon. Anger that she has been dragged into this twisted war of affection. The boy does not know she is out there fighting for him. He feels abandoned, forgotten. He believes his choices, his greed, his recklessness, his betrayal, have chained him permanently. Shame mixes with fear. And yet, in his darkest moments, he remembers her face. The girlfriend. The one who once smiled at him without asking for anything. The one who looked at him and saw not wealth, not status, but simply him. That memory is the only thing that keeps him breathing. The rich woman senses his spirit slipping away, and it terrifies her. To her, losing him is worse than death. She tightens her control. She reduces his freedom even further. No more walks in the garden. No more glimpses of the world outside. His world shrinks to one room, four walls, a velvet chair, and her shadow always nearby. She believes this will save him. In truth, it is killing him slowly. And outside those walls, the girlfriend sharpens her resolve. She gathers tools, calls in favors, whispers her plan to one trusted friend. She is preparing for a night that will change everything. She knows the risk. She knows she may not survive it. But she also knows love is worth the fight. The boy, chained once more, sits in darkness as thunder rolls over Lagos. Rain lashes the windows of the mansion. He feels the storm outside but does not know it mirrors the one about to crash through his prison. The woman hums as she locks his door, her voice trembling with fragile joy. And miles away, the girlfriend grips her backpack tightly, eyes fierce, heart racing, whispering silently to herself, "Tonight, I bring him home. Stay with me." Like this story, subscribe, and comment your location so I know where you're listening from. Because what happens next will test the limits of love, and you do not want to miss it. Chains are not always made of iron. Some are woven from whispers, some from touches that pretend to be gentle, some from the illusion of love when in truth it is control. Tonight, we step into the deepest shadows of the mansion, where wealth has disguised cruelty as affection, and where the boy must fight for his spirit even as his body remains bound. Stay with me until the very last second. And if you haven't yet, subscribe and share this story, because what you're about to witness is not easily forgotten. The woman enters his chamber carrying not chains, but silk. She has chosen his clothes for the night, soft pajamas scented with perfume, fabrics chosen to soothe him. She sits beside him, close enough that he can feel the warmth of her breath. Her hand traces his arm, not roughly, but with the carefulness of someone convinced she is giving comfort. She leans close, her lips brushing against his hair, her fingers sliding across his cheek. To her, this is intimacy. To him, It is invasion. She believes she is making love. He knows he is being conquered. Her embrace is a cage, her touch a shackle, her kiss upon his forehead a brand of ownership. He does not resist physically, he cannot. But in his mind, he runs. He escapes into memory. In the silence of her embrace, his heart drifts back to the only place he has ever felt free, his girlfriend's arms. He remembers the softness of her touch, the way she held him not to control him but to hold his spirit gently. He recalls the nights in Lagos when they walked the streets eating roasted corn and suya, laughing at nothing, staring at the stars above the lagoon. He remembers their kiss, not forced, not demanded, but offered, chosen, alive. That memory becomes his rebellion. In the arms of captivity, he closes his eyes and tastes freedom. While she clings to him, whispering words of devotion, he is elsewhere, back in the warmth of love that is real, unchained, and alive. She mistakes his silence for surrender. She believes he is beginning to accept her love, beginning to bend to her will. Her loneliness drives her deeper into obsession. She does not see the distant look in his eyes, the way his soul is slipping further away from her with every touch. She tells herself she has won. But in truth, she has lost him more completely than ever before. Her mansion is alive with wealth, fountains spilling into marble pools, chandeliers sparkling above imported rugs, but all of it feels like a coffin to him. He knows that if he surrenders in his heart, he will die long before she ever releases his chains. Outside, the girlfriend prepares. Her nights of observation have taught her the rhythms of the mansion, when the guards change, when the lights dim, when silence reigns. She dresses in black, her face determined, her fear buried beneath layers of love and desperation. She carries only what she needs: tools, courage, and the burning memory of his laughter. She moves like a shadow, slipping past the estate's outer fences, crawling beneath hedges trimmed to perfection, waiting for the guard to turn his head before she advances. Each step is a prayer, each breath a risk. Lagos hums outside, but within these walls, time stands still. Inside, he feels his strength fading. Every day in captivity chips away at his resolve. The woman's touch, her forced tenderness, her relentless presence, it gnaws at his mind. Sometimes he wonders if he is imagining freedom, if the girlfriend he remembers was ever real, or just a dream his spirit created to shield him from despair. But then a spark remains. He hears her voice in his memory. He sees her smile. He recalls the way she looked at him with no agenda, no chains, no conditions. That spark keeps him alive. The girlfriend creeps closer to the mansion's inner walls. A guard passes so close she can hear his radio static, can see the sweat on his brow. She freezes, her heart thundering louder than the rain dripping from the eaves. If she is caught, she knows what will happen. The woman's money, power, influence, they will erase her, just as they erased the boy from the world's sight. But she does not move. She waits. The guard passes. She exhales. She is closer now. The woman grows more desperate. She presses closer, her touches more lingering, her whispers more intense. She tells herself he is hers forever. But the boy's silence is louder than any scream. She does not know it, but with every moment she believes she is binding him, she is setting him free in his own heart. He has chosen his love. He has chosen the girlfriend. Even in captivity, even in silence, his heart has escaped her prison. The girlfriend finally reaches a window. She peers through the glass, her eyes widening as she sees him, sitting still, chained, the woman's hand resting possessively on his shoulder. Her heart nearly breaks at the sight, but her resolve hardens. She whispers a silent vow to herself: "I will not leave without you." Inside, he does not yet see her. He only feels the heaviness of the night, the closeness of the woman, the suffocating weight of captivity. But outside the glass, salvation waits. The mansion is still. The storm is about to break. Stay with me. Share this story, subscribe, and invite others to witness it with you. Because what comes next will decide whether love can truly break chains, or whether obsession will bury it forever. Freedom is never handed down willingly by those who profit from captivity. It must be taken back, snatched from the jaws of obsession, torn from the grip of control. Tonight, everything converges. The boy in chains, the woman blinded by her own desire, and the girlfriend standing outside the glass with nothing but love and courage to fuel her. Stay with me to the final second, and if you have not yet, subscribe and share this story. What unfolds will stay with you long after the last word fades. Inside, the boy sits beneath the weight of velvet and marble, his wrists bruised, his spirit fraying. The woman hovers close, her hand never leaving his shoulder, her whispers relentless, promises of safety, of forever, of a love that suffocates rather than nurtures. His lips are silent, but his eyes are screaming, a plea only one person can hear. And outside that window the girlfriend hears it. Not through sound, but through sight, through the undeniable bond that still ties her to him. She knows. She feels. She acts. The girlfriend waits until the guard makes his final round, then slips the latch of the window open with trembling fingers. The rain masks the sound. She slides inside, heart hammering against her chest. She crouches low, holding her breath as the woman continues speaking, unaware of the shadow now creeping within her own house. Every step the girlfriend takes feels like a war. The marble is cold beneath her bare feet, the chandeliers glow sharp above her. She moves closer, closer, until she is hidden just beyond the reach of the woman's gaze. The boy senses her before he sees her. His spirit stirs, the weight on his chest lightens. His eyes flicker to the corner where she hides. For the first time in months, a spark of life breaks through the dullness in his gaze. The woman notices the change and leans in closer, mistaking it for affection toward her. She does not see the shadow moving behind her. And then, it happens. The girlfriend surges forward. Her hands grab the chains. Her eyes lock with his. And in that instant, the woman realizes the truth. She is no longer alone with him. The mansion erupts with chaos. The woman screams, her voice shrill with panic and rage. She lunges, pulling the boy away, clutching at him with all the strength of her desperation. But the girlfriend does not let go. The room becomes a storm of limbs, tears, and raw willpower. No guards come running. The rain has swallowed their awareness, the storm outside hiding the storm within. The boy, weak but determined, pulls against his chains. His wrists bleed as he strains, fueled not by strength but by the sudden nearness of freedom. The girlfriend grips him tightly, whispering through her tears even though no sound can be heard, "I am here. I will not leave." The woman claws at the girlfriend, her face twisted by rage. Her love has become a weapon, her loneliness a curse. She screams words the boy does not understand, words lost to the roaring in his ears. And then, in a single moment of clarity, the chains snap. Perhaps it is the force of his pull, perhaps the rust of months, perhaps fate itself, but they break. He collapses into the arms of his girlfriend, trembling, sobbing, clinging. The woman staggers back, her hands empty, her heart shattering in the silence that follows. There is no time. The girlfriend pulls him to his feet, supporting his weak frame as they stumble toward the open window. The rain pours in, baptizing him in freedom. Step by step, they move, while behind them the woman falls to her knees, screaming, begging, her voice cracking into fragments of grief. She does not chase them. She cannot. The weight of her obsession holds her down. They crawl out into the storm. The cold rain washes the perfume, the marble, the chains from his skin. He breathes, truly breathes, for the first time in months. Lagos greets them not with silence, but with noise, life, chaos. They vanish into the crowd, two figures swallowed by the city's endless tide. The boy is broken, but not destroyed. The girlfriend holds him, not as a savior, but as a partner, as a reminder that love is freedom, not possession. And the mansion stands behind them, tall and silent, its wealth unable to hide the emptiness within. The woman remains inside, surrounded by gold and marble but utterly alone, her empire intact, her soul hollow. Days turn into weeks. The boy relearns the taste of ordinary life, the sound of laughter without fear, the joy of waking up without chains, the touch of love without control. Scars remain, but they are reminders, not prisons. The girlfriend stays by his side, her courage having carved a path back to life. Together, they build again, not in mansions or marble halls, but in the fragile, priceless gift of trust. This is not only a story of captivity. It is a story of survival. A story of how obsession destroys, but love restores. A story of how freedom, once stolen, can be reclaimed through courage and sacrifice. If this story touched you, share it. Subscribe and let others witness it too. And comment your location below. I want to know where in the world you are listening from, where these words have traveled, where this truth has landed. Because stories like this are not just told. They are carried. They are remembered. And they remind us always, love is never a cage. Love is freedom.